Hello and welcome to Appetite for Distraction, GameSpot's premier show that's all about mobile games and apps.
And apparently stars two hipsters who are, and I quote, so cute and precious with their emo hair and glasses. Excuse me while I bath into my hat.
Thanks for the love, Bad Chad, but I can assure you that Johnny and I are not in the slightest bit hip.
It's sad but true. Here's what's coming up on this week's show.
More of our pick of the apps, this time with 50% more Android.
And are apps the route to self-improvement? Can I get fitter, more intelligent, improve my social life, and most importantly of all, get a date?
It's probably going to take more than an app to make that last one happen.
Oh, but high-grade pharmaceuticals are so hard to find online these days. First up is Fractal, a puzzle game from the makers of Pulse. The aim of the game is to create blooms, that's hexagons made up of 7 smaller hexagons, by pushing the shapes around. You're given a limited number of pushes with which to complete the puzzle, so you've got to have your thinking cap on to progress. Multiple modes, serene music and subtle visuals complete the package.
While this next app isn't a game as such, it caused so much merriment in the office, it'd be a crime not to feature it. Vidrhythm is a music video creator from Harmonix, the makers of Rock Band. You choose from a variety of different songs and video types before recording the individual parts of the song using your iPad or iPhone camera. The results are often horrific, but always hilarious.
Over on Android, those crazy kids at Kairosoft have released Pocket League Story, which is very much like the famed Game Dev Story, only this time based on the world of football. That's soccer to the US. You manage a grassroots team, taking them from an unknown side through to an international football powerhouse. Like Kairosoft's other creations, Pocket League Story is insanely addictive with tongue-in-cheek nods to real-life teams and players.
And finally there's Airport Mania 2 Wild Trips, as opposed to dull ones where you visit your in-laws for the holidays. The aim of the game is to keep your airport running efficiently, managing a bunch of cutesy looking planes by getting them on and off the runway safely, keeping up with repairs and fuel requirements, and getting baggage on board. Like Pocket League Story, Airport Mania 2 is pretty addictive. Word of advice though, don't think that it gives you any chance of managing a real life airport. We tried that and let's just say, it didn't end well. This is Johnny. While he may look like a good-looking, well-balanced member of society, nothing could be further from the truth. He's forgetful, unadventurous, lacks a social life, and looks like he was dressed by a blind Frenchman. Each day he does the same old thing, going home at night to his single-serve microwave dinners and languishing in front of reruns of Friends before going to bed sad and alone. But it doesn't have to be this way. What if Johnny took control of his life by utilising the amazing world of mobile apps? Let's find out. It's a beautiful sunny morning as Johnny begins to stir on his bed. Normally he'd be blasted to death by his alarm clock, resulting in a very grumpy Johnny. But not today. He's using Sleep Cycle, an app that analyses his sleep patterns using the iPhone accelerometer, identifying his lightest phase of sleep, resulting in a nice, comfortable awakening. How does it feel, Johnny? Johnny takes pride in his appearance and as such isn't too happy about this new microwave dinner fueled gut. I think it might be time for some exercise, don't you? To ensure his run is worthwhile, Johnny's using Nike Plus, which lets him keep track of his workouts. He can see how far he's run, set goals, boast of his accomplishments on Twitter, and, best of all, activate personalised power songs that push him to the limit. That's using your noodle. After a hard run, it's time to wash off the manly sweat. And while Johnny loves to get soapy, he also likes to have a good sing-song in the shower. But oh no, Johnny didn't sync his phone and he doesn't have his favourite song. Relax Johnny, you've got Spotify, remember? Using Spotify, Johnny has access to 15 million songs, any of which he can stream or download to his phone, iPad, PC, or even his Mac.
Never gonna give you up.
Don't give up on your day job, Johnny. With the smell of man washed away and the run giving him an appetite, Johnny decides it's time for breakfast. But this newfound fitness regime has got him thinking about his beer gut. How to keep track of those calories? That's right, an app! MyFitnessPal lets Johnny monitor his daily calorie intake. Using the barcode scanner, he can quickly list his breakfast nutritional information and add it to his meals for the day, letting him work towards his calorie goal. This ensures that his beer gut is vanquished. Sorry Johnny, no eggs and bacon for you today. Right, that's enough dawdling. Time to get stuff done. Traditionally, Johnny would be a mess right now, rambling around the streets of London without even the slightest idea about what he should be doing. That's where Epic Win comes in, a day planner that makes your life like an RPG. Johnny can input the day's tasks and assign an experience point value to them, depending on their difficulty. As each task is accomplished, his character levels up. Now there's an incentive. So, what's on the list for today, Johnny? Find a date? That might be a bit tricky. Not to worry though, let's see if you can app your way out of this. Ah yes, OkCupid, the free dating app that helps you find your ideal partner, hook up with locals in your area, and generally leave yourself open to crushing criticism from the general populace. Someone wants to go on a date with you. Well, miracles can happen it seems, but you're not going dressed like that, are you? Better get some new threads if you're going to impress. While Johnny deals with the inevitable wait at the bus stop, he's reading books using the Kindle app. Unlike Apple's own iBooks, Kindle lets you read your purchases on non-Apple devices like Amazon's Kindle e-reader or Android tablets. So even if Johnny has a sudden change of heart and switches to Android, all his purchases are safe. At the shops, Johnny's finding it hard to know what to wear. For the modern gentleman, fashion is a tricky mistress. He can't just throw on any old clobber. Fortunately, the Valet app keeps Johnny up to date on the latest fashions, keeps his personal measurements at hand, and allows him to find local tailors and dry cleaners to keep him looking sharp. Yeah, maybe think that one through, Johnny. Back at home, Johnny's thinking about where to take a date. Maybe you could cook her a nice homemade dinner using Epicurious, an app that features a collection of wholesome recipes. Bit cheap though, don't you think? Maybe take her out to dinner. Using one of Time Out's city-centric apps, Johnny can find restaurants in his local area with reviews and price guides helping him choose where to go. And if that wasn't enough, the app lets him plan the rest of the night too, with listings for arts and entertainment venues. Wow, I think you may be shooting a little above your weight here, Johnny. Let's just see how it goes. Why don't you try laying down some smooth lines? You haven't got any? Well, just as well, you've got the little book of chat-up lines. Why don't you try one of those out? Never mind, Johnny. There's always the hope of scoring tomorrow night. Despite his date taking a turn for the worse, Johnny's a happy man. He's fitter, more organised, more fashionable, more entertained. And with the BBC iPlayer app, he can settle in for a nice night's televisual viewing. And hey, you might not have scored, but at the very least you levelled up your Epic Win character. And I can't think of anything better, can you? So how does it feel to finally be a fully functional member of society?
Pretty good. I feel like I could go to parties again.
That's it for this week's show then, but don't forget, we're on iTunes.
Liven up those boring commutes with a dose of mobile gaming goodness by heading over to tinyurl.com/appetite rules to subscribe and hopefully leave us a glowing review.
Plus, you can also subscribe via YouTube over at youtube.com/show/appetite for distraction.
Right, with that said, I'm off on my hot date.
By which he means dinner with his mum. We'll see you next week. That's it for this week's show then, but don't forget, we're on iTunes.
Liven up those boring commutes with a dose of mobile gaming goodness by heading over to tinyurl.com/appetite rules to subscribe and
hopefully fly a plane above us. That's it for this week's show then, but don't forget, we're on iTunes.
Liven up those boring commutes with a dose of mobile gaming goodness by heading over to the windiest part of London and asking for a double mocha latte with extra wind.
Double mocha latte with extra wind. I dread to think how they serve that in Starbucks.
This is one of the windiest parts of London, officially though.